Nintendo's done something that's never been done before, even more than anyone could have predicted. Nintendo did all they could to stockpile enough consoles to stop scalpers and have more than enough Switch 2 consoles for everyone who wants to get one on day one. But did that help? Nope. Because the Switch 2 sold out everywhere on the first day of pre-orders everywhere they became available and is on pace to being the fastest selling video game console ever. Now, stores offering pre-orders of it will still be restocked, and the My Nintendo store is trying to keep enough stock for hardcore NSO expansion pack players who have reserved one, but even that's not scratching the surface in meeting the huge demand of the out-of-this-world Switch 2 console. So how did Nintendo do this? How did they set themselves up to have the biggest console launch in history? VGC breaks this down by saying, Nintendo Switch 2 is set to enjoy the biggest console launch in history, according to an analyst. Previously, analysts had predicted that Nintendo would likely produce between 6 and 8 million units of the console by the time of the June launch. Now, an analyst has claimed that the console's incredibly popular pre-order campaign in Japan may point to the Nintendo Switch 2 enjoying the biggest console launch in history. As Japan accounts for a third of global Switch installation base, it implies 6.6 million pre-orders globally, said Pelin Smithers of Japan-focused equity research house Pelin Smithers Associates via Bloomberg. At the time of writing, the two biggest console launches in history both belong to Sony, with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 tied at a reported 4.5 million units during their first 2 months on the market. It's worth noting that the PlayStation 5 faced constant stock issues during its first year, meaning that PS5 would have likely eclipsed the PlayStation 4 if stock had been available. Earlier this week, Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa warned that a significant number of players in Japan will miss out on Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders after 2.2 million applied for its My Nintendo pre-order lottery. Pre-orders for the console opened in the US this week, with players reporting constant issues with attempting to pre-order the console online. Pre-orders in the UK and Europe went live earlier this month following the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct presentation. The Switch 2 console and launch title Mario Kart World are both set to release on June 5th. Last week, a Mario Kart World Direct shared more information on the upcoming launch game, including some of its new courses, items, characters, and outfits. Nintendo kicked off its Switch 2 marketing in many territories. Notably, it started airing multiple television spots in Japan in addition to street advertising. Now, in addition to the 6 to 8 million units that are expected to be sold before the console even launches, Go Nintendo is reporting an analyst saying that Nintendo will be getting another 5 million units sold in the first week the Switch 2 launches. The article reads, Analyst predicts an unprecedented 5 million Switch 2 units to be sold globally in its first week. Talking with Bloomberg, Toyo Securities analyst Hideki Yasuda predicted that launch week sales for Switch 2 in Japan will be likely somewhere between 800,000 to 1 million units. From there, Yasuda said this would pave the way for sales of 5 million in the first week globally, which would amount to a speed that's unprecedented for the game industry. Nintendo's been planning this for a long time by stockpiling the production of Switch 2s to keep up with the demand they knew people would have for this phenomenal system. And though Nintendo still didn't meet the huge demand that people had for the Switch 2 during pre-orders, they will still keep pumping out more Switch 2 consoles for store pre-orders again and again before the launch on June 5th. So don't give up if you didn't get your Switch 2 secured yet. How big do you think the Switch 2 launch will be? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. And if you're liking this content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell as well so you won't miss out on anything. Thanks for watching and subscribing. If you'd like to see more amazing Switch 2 news, you'll want to watch this video here. And if you're liking this content, we'd love for you to join our membership program where you'll enjoy many perks like loyalty badges, special emojis, and a special acknowledgement of our appreciation for your support by displaying your name in these credits. See you at the next video.